What's up, everybody? It's Christopher Hussey. It's Monday night, and I am in front of my computer in my kitchen, hanging out. I should probably close the blinds on this back door. How are you guys? Are you in the group? Are you there? Let me close the blinds here. Say hello. Nice to see everybody. I'm going to jump over to the group. I actually have my computer open. I have my phone sitting on my computer, and then behind it is the monitor, so I can actually see what's going on. I'm going to click over to the group, see who's out there. There we go. Christopher Hussey is live right now. Who's out there watching? Anybody out there? Awesome. This is Not Wine today. I actually had a couple of people reach out to me, and they were grumpy. I think that's a good word. They were grumpy that I was drinking wine on the webinar on the Facebook Hangout last week. They were grumpy. So no wine tonight. Just a little soda. Somebody will be grumpy about that, I'm sure. So tonight I wanted to cover a basic concept. Very basic concept. Take about a half hour. If you guys are out there, say hi. Drop me a comment. Let me know you're out there. I want to cover a really basic concept for you tonight because I get this question asked a lot, and someone sent me an email over the weekend, and I figured, you know what? I should talk about that on Monday. So I want you to walk away from tonight's training with an understanding. Hey, there's Junior. I want you to walk away from tonight's training with an understanding of capturing leads, okay? So tonight we're going to talk about capturing leads. And so a lot of people, when they talk about, when they understand, when they start thinking about their business, right? When they start thinking about their business, they don't understand the value of creating an actual business. Hey, William, how are you, sir? They don't understand the value of creating an actual business, okay? So I want to talk through that with you tonight, and you guys feel free. I'm going to ramble a little bit. I'm going to talk through the concept here, and you guys feel free to, post comments, ask questions on the comment thread, and if I can jump in there and grab them, I absolutely will. So I want to put a thought process in your head. I want to put a thought in your head. The value of your business is in direct proportion to the number of people you can communicate with at one time. The value of your business is in direct proportion to the number of people you can communicate with at one time. So if I say this a lot, and this is a really kind of crazy way to explain this. It's a crazy way to explain it, but I want you to go with me. If I had the cure for cancer, there's Adnan. Hi, Adnan, how are you? If I had the cure for cancer, how much would the cure for cancer be worth? Okay? If I had the cure for cancer, how much would the cure for cancer be worth? The cure for cancer has no value. Now, I know for some of you, you're like, whoa, it'd be worth a lot of money, and that's just not true. The cure for cancer has absolutely no value. What has value is what it will do for people, okay? If I own something, if I have it, right? If I have the best business opportunity, if I have the best face cream, if I have the best entertainment, if I have the cure for cancer, if I have a car, if I have a bicycle, if I have an awesome stereo, none of that has value. The value is in what other people believe it will do for them. That's the value. Okay, so stay with me. Now, if you cannot communicate, right? If you cannot expose what your thing will or will not do, okay? If you can't communicate with people, then the thing that you have will never generate income. It will never generate value. Is this making sense? No matter what it is that you have, if you cannot communicate it with other people, then it will have no value. It will not generate income. Now, what most people in network marketing do, okay, and I want you to be successful, so I want to tell you what the pitfalls are. What most people in network marketing do is they fail to build their list. They fail to simply make a list of people in an autoresponder, in a notebook, in their phone. They simply fail to build a list of people. And whether or not that person buys from them, whether or not the person subscribes to them, whether or not the person does any business with them, most people tend to disregard people in they're doing business with me or they're not doing business with me. And I'm here to tell you that that is absolutely not going to lead to a profitable business. And here's the reason why. You will eventually get better at presenting the value of your product. Maybe your product will change. Example, in Game Loot Network, we have multiple games and we're launching multiple games. So your product is constantly changing. So if you talked to someone, a month ago, right, and they said no to Game Loot Network, but you didn't get their contact information with a desire to stay in contact with them, then when we release Eggies, right, when it comes out, you're not able to communicate with that person and tell them about Eggies. Your product changed, your business matured, but you didn't build a list. You didn't keep in contact with the person so that as your product changed, as you matured, as things changed, you were able to go back over and over and over and expose that person to your business, expose that person to the value, expose that person to your product, whatever it is. That's what most people in network marketing fail to do. Now, if you go outside network marketing, okay, if you go outside network marketing, here's what happens. Here's what happens. An insurance salesman, right? Insurance salesmen, they consider themselves, most of them, especially the ones that make any type of real income, they consider themselves professionals. And they know that every single person is going to take multiple exposures. It's going to take a relationship. It's going to take time to grow that relationship and grow who you are with a person. So no matter who they are, they're constantly making a list. Okay? People who sell anything on a professional basis, what they're doing is they're consistently making a list and they're delivering value. So as a network marketer, as a person who is not just trying this out, but as a person who is really attempting to grow a business, who's really trying to grow a career at network marketing, as that person, every single day, your goal, you should wake up in the morning and go, today I'm going to build my list. Now, I'm not saying this to brag, right? This is not braggadocious. I'm just saying this to make a point. Yesterday, I, Christopher Hussey, in my business, got 42 new leads. 42. Because it is the thing that I concentrate on the most. I have a huge lead list. I have lots of leads, multiple thousands of leads, right? Multiple tens of thousands of leads. And every single day I get new leads. Now, why is that? That is important because, let's go back to the very first thing that I said. The very first thing that I said is the value of your business and the growth of your business is directly proportional to the number of people that you can expose your product or service to at any given time, right? That is the value, that is the trend for the growth of your business. So my goal, Christopher Hussey's goal every single day is to grow the value of the business for Game Loot Network, to grow the value of the business for Christopher Hussey. Right? Whether it's my personal business, whether it's Game Loot Network's business, the thing that makes the most sense to do every single day is to look at the leads list, to look at the list of people that I can communicate with and say, is it higher or lower? Is it higher or lower? And every day, My job, your job in your business, my job in my personal business, my job in Game Loot Network business is to grow the list higher. That's the job. That's your job. Your job every day when you wake up is to make your list bigger. Now, again, let's go back to that concept. Most people are judging based on, is this person doing business with me or is this person not doing business with me? Now, if you're doing that, stop, because that is not important. I know that you think that it is, but it is not important. What is important, the primary importance is my list growing? Because people take time. They take time to grow a relationship. They take time to get to know you. They take time to get to know your product or service, right? It takes time. That just is the way it is. Not everyone is going to buy from you on day one. Some people will, but not everyone will buy from you on day one. Most people simply won't buy from you on day one. So your goal is not first to get them to buy. Your goal is first to get them on the list. And every day grow your list. Is this making sense? Is this resonating? Is this hitting home with anybody? Okay, now that we've established that the number one thing that you have to do, we got some people wanting to join the group here. Let me get them approved. There we go. Now that we've established that the number one thing that you have to do is grow your list, let's talk about how you do that. Okay, first and foremost, you have to be committed to it. I've said this in a number of trainings, but it bears repeating multiple times as I can. Your goal is to gather information. Okay, so if I walked up to Adnan right now and we were at a party, right, and we were talking, and Adnan said, hey, I'm interested in making some more money. I love mobile games. What's that all about? And I talked to Adnan, and I walked off from Adnan, and I didn't get the contact information, right? I didn't get her contact information, right? I've not done my job. Now, some of you think, oh, I got to set an appointment. Oh, I got to make a presentation. Oh, I got to do this. Oh, I got to tell her about this. No, that's not what you want to do. That's not it. Again, most people are not going to join on the first time you talk to them. It's going to take multiple exposures. They're going to need to get to know you. Your job is to grow your list. What's up, Roland? Your job is to grow your list. So your goal on a daily basis is to get up, right? You look at your list. Hey, what's up, guys? Your job is to get up and to look at your list and say, I got 5 people on my list. I got 10 people on my list. I've got 70,000 people on my list personally today, right? Right now I got 70,000 people. So my job is to look at my list and go, okay, 70,000. Today I'm going to have 70,040, right? Today I'm going to get 40. Your job might be, okay, I got 10 people on my list. Okay, I'm going to go to bed with 12 people on my list. Now, I want to be clear. Just because I have 70 and you have 5 or you have 10 or you have 20, that doesn't make a difference. Everybody, there's this quote, and it says, don't judge your step 1 by someone else's step 9. And here's what that means. You're at the place where you are on your journey, right? And you can't look at me where I am on my journey and say, why am I not like Christopher? Or why am I not like Robert? Or why am I not like this person or that person or the other person? You can't do that. You're at where you're at on your journey, and the only thing that's relevant on your journey is what you need to do next. That's the only thing that's relevant. It doesn't matter how many leads I have. It doesn't matter how many leads Kevin has. It doesn't matter how many leads Lance has. The only thing that matters is how many you have. So you wake up in the morning and you go, how many leads do I have? I have 5. Okay. Tonight when I go to bed, I'm going to have 10. Tonight when I go to bed, I'm going to have 7. Tonight when I go to bed, I'm going to have 8. You pick a number and then go get those leads. Again, let's go back to the Adnan story. Or let's talk about Kevin. If Kevin is at a party, I fly out to DC and I go somewhere and I go to have a drink at the bar in the hotel, right? And I'm sitting there and I'm having a glass of wine, and I start, having a conversation with Kevin about the ball game or something, right? So I'm having a conversation with Kevin about the ball game, and we start talking, and I go, hey, Kev, what do you do? And we're talking, and then what do you do? Well, I have my own business. I help people make money from home. I have my own mobile gaming business. He said, mobile gaming, making money from home? Man, I'd like to hear about that. Okay, so now I have a choice. Okay, my goal is to get Kevin's information. My goal is not to present the business to Kevin. My goal is to get Kevin's information. Why? Let's go back. Most people are not going to make a decision about your business. They're not going to make a decision about you. They're not going to make a decision about your product on the first introduction. So your goal is to grow your list of leads. Because if I have Kevin's information, then I can do what is necessary, which is multiple exposures with Kevin to get him to make an informed decision. Is this making sense? Anybody? Is this resonating with anybody out there? Is this making any sense? Let's talk about what it is that gets leads. How do I get leads? Okay? This formula is actually really simple. It's super simple. In order to get leads, you must present something that attracts a person's information. That's the key. Got a little note there on my phone. You have to present something that attracts a person's interest. What are they interested in? So I'm sitting there at the bar with Kevin. We're talking about the ball game. I'm drinking my wine. He's drinking his wine, or whatever it is he's drinking. And we're talking, and he's like, hey, what do you do? And I go, I have my own mobile gaming business, and I show people how to make money from home. And Kevin goes, really? Does that work? And I go, yeah. I mean, we have, 25,000, 30,000 people that we work with right now. We have a huge business, and, people are making money from home, every week. And he goes, really? How much can you make? And I go, well, I kind of just had a long day. Watch me. Watch this. Listen to what I'm about to do. I kind of had a long day, been working with people. But you know what? I have some literature upstairs that I can email to you. What's your email address? I'll send something over. And Kevin says, well, my email address is this. Awesome. And I said, and I would take out my phone and I would go, here. And I'd set it up and I'd go, what's your name? Boom, 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 boom. And I'd start filling it out. Kevin Thompson. Good. What's the best number to call you, Kevin? Boom, 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 boom. And I got the info. Now that I have the info, would I talk to Kevin about the business? Maybe. It depends on where we are. It depends on how the conversation is going. It depends on if I have, if I feel like the rapport's there right this second. Maybe. Or maybe I would wait till later. Maybe I would call him and I would say, hey, I have a call with someone and I'd like to invite you to that call. And I'd invite Kevin to the call. So guys, what's important is understanding that I have to build my lead list. And number two, understanding that in order to build your lead list, you have to do things that are attractive to the person that you want on your list. That's the key. So my challenge for you, and I'm going to make this really short tonight because this is a short subject and it's a short challenge. My challenge to you is this. Tomorrow morning when you wake up, I want you to ask yourself two questions. Two. Number one question. I want you to ask yourself, how many leads do I currently have? How many leads do I currently have? Now for some of you, you're experienced at this and you have a lot of leads. But for some of you, you're not going to have any. Okay? And that's cool. Again, don't judge your step 1 by someone else's step 10, right? It doesn't matter. It's about where you are. So ask yourself the question, how many leads do you have? Right? And write that number down. I've got 5 leads. I've got 10 leads. I've got 20 leads. Whatever it is, write that number down. Then the second question, how many leads am I going to have? How many leads am I going to have at the end of the day? Okay, so if I've got 5 leads, I can say, okay, I'm going to have 8 leads at the end of the day, right? Or I'm going to double my leads, right? I'm going to have 10 leads at the end of the day, okay? So and write that number down. And then what I want you to do is accept the challenge and reach that number. Between the time you wake up and the time you go to bed, just reach that number. Because that is the key to growing a thriving, profitable network marketing business. Always growing the number of leads. That's the key. And William was asking, how do you keep track of your leads? I use a professional system. I have a professional system. I'm a pro, right? And when people say, hey, what do you do? I say, I'm a network marketer. I'm a network marketing consultant. And okay, I'm very proud of that. I don't hide the fact. I'm super proud that I'm a network marketer. Okay? I use a professional system. I use, if you're interested, you can, text me or email me and I can introduce you to that system. I don't want to recommend a particular system. There's tons of stuff. It doesn't, but the thing I want you to take to heart is it really doesn't matter how you keep your leads as long as you keep them, right? I am a fan of growth comes when growth is necessary. Now, let me give you an example of that statement. Number one, if I have 100 leads, if I only had 100 leads, I'd have them all written down in a notebook, right? Or I'd write them in my phone. It's just 100 leads. Everybody thinks 100 leads is a lot. No, that'd be my milestone. I'd wake up, like it's Monday, I'd wake up tomorrow if I didn't have any leads, and I would go, all right, I'm gonna get 100 leads by the end of the month, right? Because 100 is a good solid number, right? So it doesn't matter. And Dorothea said, if you can use Excel until you're able to afford and be comfortable with using the system, I agree 100%, Dorothea. I agree 100%. If you have a Google address, right, at Gmail, right? So I have a Gmail address. I use Google like crazy, right? Google has a free Excel system called Google Sheets. It's totally free, right? On your Google Drive. If I didn't have any money, if I didn't have money for a professional system, if I couldn't afford paper or didn't want to use paper, whatever, right? Whatever the excuse was, I'd use Google Sheets. I can sync it to my smartphone. I've got all my leads right there. Name, email address, phone number. If you want to go further, name, email address, phone number, physical address, right? Name, email, phone number, those are your base three. And I would write them down. I would make sure I had them, and I would grow them every single day. Again, I use a professional system. You do not have to do that. What's important is that you know how many leads you have. When I wake up in the morning, it honestly, I'm a little addicted. It's one of the first things that I want to do. It's one of the first things that I want. I want to know how many leads I have, how many I got yesterday,